Okay, here we go. This is a video at the moment which I'm going to show you how I'm charging the Nissan Leaf off grid and what I'm going to be doing, because I haven't done any videos for a while. I'm just going to flip the camera around so you can see what I'm looking at. So there we go. It's using the old granny charger at the moment. I've got a pod point there, which is obviously the 7 kilowatt charger, which charges it up in about 4 hours at the moment. Yes, I know you're not supposed to be using an extension lead, but I can't reach the cables to where I need them to be at the moment because of the clutter in the garage. But this is just going to be temporary, so I do check the cables and how warm, etc. they're getting. So mainly it's just to show you the draw that the granny charger draws from my inverter. So here you can see there, it's just hovering around 2.28 watts. Let's have a look amp wise. So there we go, 10.6 amps. So these 13 amp plugs are going to get quite warm fairly quickly. So if you're doing something like this, it's always best to keep an eye on the cables, etc. Obviously you'd want to plug the granny charger directly into one of the distribution boards. I'm not going to show my garage at the moment because it's embarrassing, but I have got proper distribution points, 13 amp sockets in the house, and that one's going to one at the moment, so which goes into there. I won't show it at the moment. So if I go and have a quick look at what draw we are on, so we're pulling only down 416, that's just on the front. I don't know what's happening with the back one. Let's have a quick look at that. It's still 165. Obviously the sun has swung round to the front now. Yeah, charging Nissan Leaf off grid. So the first thing you're going to have to do is have a big old battery bank. Now ideally what I'd like to do is get a salvage battery from one of the Leafs, series it up. I think they'll be in 3s. Then there you go, you've got to do it yourself Tesla wall. Obviously you can do it how the other guys do it with the reclaimed batteries and build a whole one out of that. That's quite a bit of work, and I haven't got the time with a big family to do that right now, although I would like to build one. But yeah, possibly at the moment getting another Nissan Leaf crash victim might be the way forward. But for now we have to do with the 1000 amp hour 24 volt DC battery bank. It's a big old forklift battery, and that's the inverter I bought, how long ago now? Probably 3 years ago. 6,000 watt continuous pure sine, 18,000 watt peak. I have seen these 12 kilowatt ones. I will try and put on the link where I got mine from, and the newer ones, which look really good, and they're 12 kilowatts continuous. So, but that does the job. If the freezer and fridge, microwave, washing machine, anything like that go on, it's still got the headroom. Even that's drawing, let's say, even if that drawed 2,500 watts, I've still got a lot of headroom there, which is why I invested in a slightly bigger inverter. You're probably wondering where all the fuses are, but I'll look under there. They're the DC fuses, and I used a marine fuse there. That one isn't, no, that's 250 amp lorry fuse, or cut fuse, and that's the 24 volt isolator for the battery when I work on it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. There's the battery extra, which is keeping the battery life longer. Let's go back to the Leaf, and you'll see it's charging there. I have seen people charging them from these little portable generators. I think it's the One of them's like a Hyundai 3000 Si, but you have to do some jiggery pokery with the earthing, otherwise the granny charger here or the block says there's a fault. But there's plenty of YouTube videos of people who have been experimenting with that. There we go, still chewing through 10 amps. I'm going to just in that a little bit further. They just put a really short lead from the from there to there. It's like you can't hardly do anything with it. It's a bit of a pain, really, considering how heavy this box is. It's such a short lead. Let's just change these amps back. 2,298. Yeah, so there we go. About 2,300 watts. It's whether that will zoom up a bit more, I don't know. So what else can I show you? So I've got a little thing in here which is in the house, down to 24 watts at the moment, and I might as well show you. I don't know whether you'll be able to pick it up though. There's a distribution, well there we go, normal plug socket there, but that is one of my solar plug sockets, so it's running the internet as well. Yeah, so all the lighting is being run by it. My projector is run by it as well. TV, amps, PlayStation, all of that running in the kitchen. Well, it's certainly not running the oven. That would be silly. It could run the toaster and the kettle, but they're running from a different ring main, so I probably wouldn't put it on. But it is operating the washing machine, small little TV there, radio, microwave, and the fridge freezer there, and also the fridge freezer in the garage. So yeah, saving quite a bit of juice really overall. Anyway, I'm going to go back and probably let you loose now, but it's just another one of those experiments. I guess the only thing that I can give you an update on since last time is nothing really has changed. I've been equalising the battery bank, topping it up with fluids, etc. I've got to give this garage a big clear out this summer. I've got loads of stuff going. If anyone wants, there's a spare 6 2-volt forklift batteries there, which I'm going to put up on Spock if anyone's interested. Probably stick them on eBay as well. Lead's still quite expensive at the moment, even in scrap. I think it's around, not sure what it is, but probably each batch I'd get at least 25-30 quid in scrap just for the lead. What else is happening? So next Wednesday, no, this Wednesday coming, I've got the electrician coming over. And what we're going to do is, those panels there when I bought them are 250 watt panels, but they're now doing 285 watt panels for roughly the same price. I've got to check out the 300 watt ones as well, because obviously the more I can get out of the roof space the better, but I don't think I'll trade those in just yet. Anyway, the idea is going to be that I'm going to stick another 5, which I think I'll be able to get up there, another 5 panels, so that give me at least another, hopefully just over 1.2 kilowatts extra juice. And then when it's a sunny day like this, I'll be able to charge the car without sucking any more ampage down from the battery. I'd like to get a proper decent supply actually just to do this, which I might ask the electrician about what's the best way of doing it. As the output of the inverter has got a nice big chunky 32 amp cooker cable which runs into the house and then into the distribution board. So this whole setup's got its own distribution board. The white lead that you can see coming in is the mains going into the inverter, hence the name grid in, because in the winter obviously when the battery bank comes down, then you'll need to charge it back up from the grid, which I often have to do in the winter. The only other thing would be to get another generator or alternative supply, maybe like a wind. So I've been looking into wind as well, as we have quite a wind tunnel down the side of our house here, so I might put it down there. Anyway, just a very quick update. I'm just going to quickly look where we are with this. So Yeah, it's still on around about 2.3. It's getting a little warm, but not that warm. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. If you do use an extension, make sure that you take the whole thing out. Don't leave any coiled up. It will generate a lot of heat, a lot more heat. That's generally why they don't say use extensions. If all of the cable is out like I have here, the heat will dissipate. But if it's close together, it will build up, and that's why it's dangerous. I mean, ideally, obviously, you need chunkier cable. But it is a 230, 240 volt feed going through there, so they should be fine. Anyway, yeah, car's still going fine after the rigmarole of some kind of fuse going in the battery, and had to, believe it or not, go all the way up to Sunderland to get fixed under warranty. But that is probably a story for another time, and certainly one that I've shared on the EV forum for electric vehicles. Anyway, I'll give you an update once we've got the new panels on, which hopefully will be over the summer. So probably the next update will be maybe July, August, something like that, if we can afford to do it all, which I hope we can. Obviously then it will encounter another cost, because I'll have to get another charge controller to handle all the rest of that juice going to come down. But I'd like to do the investment, and one more panel on the back, and then that'll be at the roof, because there's 4 on the back. So I'll put one more on the back, and then that'll be it. I think I'll just leave it there, and that should be most of my energy needs met, and hopefully it'll improve things over the winter as well, having another 6 panels spread over the roof space. And that magpie up there he's causing quite a bit of trouble. The cats were down there earlier on, and yeah, he's right up bold as brass, probably within a couple of metres of the cats, and the cats didn't attack him either. But they're really, that's his tree, I think, over there. Very, very aggressive bird. Anyway, as usual, there's always a diesel delivery van making loads and loads of noise, just as you're filming. There's usually either kids screaming or delivery vans or something else going on that will always spoil your video. Oh yeah, the other thing I did was I put LEDs everywhere on the car. LED brake lights, interior lights, dome lights, and I also put some. You message me if you want to know where I got them from. Actually, I'll probably put the links in. That's the new headlight one, and you can just see in the corner there that little side light as well. So apart from the indicator lights, which I don't really see any point in changing because you only use them ad hoc, and the indicators at the back, everything else is LED now anyway, and the fog lights. So just show you the lights. Now, a bit of a tip when you're getting those off, just put the wheel and turn it inwards, and then obviously if you've under all the little bolts under here, prise this open. You'll be able to prise that back bit off, and you'll be able to get your hand down the side without taking all of that apart. You don't need to. If you've got very, very thick hands and thick wrists, you might have a bit of struggle getting in there, but my hands aren't too big, but they're not, and I got it in and managed to get it through there. So that's the, God, I can't see it in the sunlight, it's too bright filming. I hope you can see that. That's the daytime running light. So the only other one I've got to change is the behind it. They do look a lot better. It's just a kind of look thing really, but as they made these LEDs, which were already come fitted, this is the SL version, and obviously the standard on the Tecnas from 2013 upwards. It's just a shame they didn't use LED lighting through the rest of it really. I don't know why they didn't. It's probably a lot cheaper to, at the time, to just use the normal bulbs. Anyway, that's it guys. I'll yeah, be back hopefully in the summer with some other news, but other than that, yeah, the whole system's still running fine. It's just the maintenance really of the batteries that you've got to be wary of and keep on top of. Okay, take care, and happy off-gridding.